everybody. So we came up with this grand idea of doing what we call teach tape. After our conversation with Ferg on our podcast episode, we got real in depth talking about just like pitching style, defensive positioning, just more in depth conversation on baseball. And we thought it'd be a really cool idea to kind of show you guys what we were talking about in real time and different plays, just picking out different plays from the season. And we wanted to start with some of the defensive positioning stuff. So to kick it off, this play right here, we're in Baltimore. J-Mo's on the mound. And with a left-handed hitter up, it obviously dictates where you're going to be in positioning. But we were able to turn a double play, a 5-6-3, which is the third baseman, to the shortstop, which is me, and then on to first base for the double play. And so we're just going to play the clip. And so now to kind of break things down with this play, actually I'm going to go ahead and show the high home angle so that everyone can kind of see what it looks like from up top, kind of the bird's eye view, and that'll give us a better idea of positioning. So to start off, with a left-handed batter, typically the shortstop is going to play more up the middle. We typically play more of a pull type of positioning with a left-handed hitter, trying to cut down a little bit of the four-hole, especially with a guy on first base, because the first baseman obviously has to hold the runner on, and he loses a little bit of his depth and positioning. So you try and cover that a little bit with the second baseman. And then in this instance, it being first and third, the third baseman still has to kind of be in the vicinity of the runner at third base, so he can't get a huge lead. So Miles Mastrobuoni is playing third base here, and you can see that he's in somewhat of like the six hole, kind of shaded towards shortstop. But he's a little bit further in because of angles. Even if he's further back, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have better coverage as a third baseman. So he typically plays in. So if we were to run this clip again.
Well, I'm going to say in as in, are you talking in towards second, or are you talking in as in
I'm talking in
path?
more towards the infield cut. Yeah,
correct.
Infield
I'm
grass.
just for the audience.
So as we talked about it being a 5-6-3, me and Nico have already communicated on this play saying, hey, anything that's hit to the third baseman, it's my responsibility to be the pivot guy at second base. So it's my responsibility to turn the double play. This is kind of a rare instance, but I think it's really cool to note just the defensive positioning and how that can kind of dictate and change your role in a play. So once again, if we roll this clip of the high home view, as you can see, the ball gets hit. And after the communication, you can see that my initial break is towards the bag, which is actually really hard to do because your instincts normally take you to where the ball's going. But obviously, Mastro does an unbelievable job here of making this play number one, going to his left, laying out, and then you can see Nico's actions here going towards second just in case if I were to have broken towards the batted ball that we could at least gotten one out. But we actually did this pretty flawlessly, and I was able to get to second base here and obviously turn the double play. This is a big point in the game because we'll take those two outs for the one run.
Right.
Especially early in the game, made it a 4-2 game. But if we were to break down a little bit more of the double play itself, I'm going to go back to the broadcast view here for y'all to see. So there's a couple things in this. I did play second base some in college, so I had an idea of how to turn this double play. We actually work on this in spring training because it pops up more than you think. So number one, getting to the bag as quick as you can is really important for double plays because you want to be able to feel the base so that you can obviously get the first out. That's the most important thing, is getting the first out. Mastro does a really good job of giving me a high feed. We typically like double play feeds to be a little bit higher so that you can see in my transition here from glove to hand, I'm not losing time with transferring the ball to my glove hand to be able to get into a pocket to throw. So That's the first thing, is getting to the bag early. The second thing, with the feed being on the money, I know the rules have changed with sliding into the base and not being able to take guys out. But being able to use the base as a shield is just important for comfort for me, so that I can turn this double play and not be in the lane of this guy sliding into second base, so that I can hop out of the way if he were to slide through the bag. So as you see, I get to the bag, I run right to the bag on this ground ball, set up early, set up my chest very open to him so he has a good throwing lane. Like I said, he puts it on the money, and then we're able to turn the double play.
Talk a little bit about footwork, approaching the bag. You got your left foot on the bag.
Yep.
Because obviously you pretty much you're protected by the bag on the slide, but you still want to have enough power to actually be able to throw.
So it's similar in catching a ground ball a little bit. Like, obviously you want to be going towards your target, but with me having this, my left foot on the bag, it allows for me to not have to, I'm already kind of like in a throwing position. I've already gotten into like that power spot to turn and throw. So all I have to do is just really just get the ball into my throwing hand, because you can see I'm already throwing as I'm catching the ball right there.
Yeah, my only question, just approach being that you don't field too many double plays from a third baseman. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a different sort of approach to the bag and throwing motion versus anytime you're coming from second base, you're coming right through the bag.
Correct.
Right. It's definitely, I think having background of having done it before has helped, and we work on it in spring. So it's not like it's one of those things where I'm completely a fish out of water. Yeah. And really just kind of your athletic instincts just kind of take over.
Right.
I would just think your tendency would be, like, if I'm catching here and my foot is on the bag, I'm going to want to, like, push off to push off. You see what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm putting force into the bag the whole time. So when I catch it, I'm putting my force into it to throw. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if I'm catching the feed, I'm thinking I'm going to push, like, lateral to then
throw.
Yeah. Which would be wasted motion.
Because if you look as I catch the ball, I already have a really wide base.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looked like you were on the bag but loaded.
All right, look, you see the umpire's a little bit in the way here, but I'm kind of leaning. I've already established, almost forced both ways. Right? You can see my back knee right there, my right knee is bent.
There is pressure on it, yeah.
So I'm already in that spot to where I would have stepped back to. You see?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So that's what it cuts down time, because we don't have much time. And catch and pivot.
Yeah. I'm just saying, for the average person, Little League or whatever, the tendency to push off of the bag to then get to your back foot, like that's
and most guys end up doing that. I think just because of the element of time here, I didn't.
Well, you're just being an athlete. Literally just getting the ball out as fast as you can. You're not even thinking about it.
So, like I said, huge play in the game. We end up winning this game, winning the series. I think we swept the series. So, good defense, still plays.
Good flash of the arm.
Like seeing 4 up in the third inning for the Cubbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of that. Big fan of that.
All right, so this next one we'll screen record. All right, so this play we're gonna play it out full out. Shoto's obviously shoving once again, but we're up 5-0. Seventh inning, we got one out. We're able to turn this double play, 6-4-3. So we're just gonna go ahead and run the clip. And then to show you from the high home angle here of what this looks like. Sorry, we're gonna run it. All right, so going back to this clip, I want to start with the high home view here, because I think it's important to note that with the score the way it is, it being 5-0, and us in the seventh inning, us already having an out, they have, 8 outs left to score 5 runs. So my thought process is more of, I want to take outs however I can get them. So I don't really want to limit my range. I want to be able to at least get one out, especially with a guy like him who can really, really run. And the only way for us to turn a double play is for him to essentially hit the ball that he did, right? Like hit a hard ground ball right at me that I can get over to Mastro, that he can get to to first base. So if you can see how I'm set up, I may be a little bit closer towards the bag in terms of up the middle than typical. But I haven't lost depth. As you can see, I'm still pretty close to the outfield cut right there. And obviously, like I said, Shota does a great job of throwing this splitter down in a way that can induce this double play. But in terms of the actual defense itself, I've been a big believer in the prep. I kind of have I sink down. You can see I kind of sink down to my hips, and then I hop up just a little bit. I want to be coming down into the ground as the ball is entering the hitting zone. Because if you get down too early, you get stuck. And if you're obviously down late, you're going to get a late break. So I essentially try and time my prep jump or prep step, if you will, when the ball's entering the hitting zone. So as you can see, he's pretty much just made contact, and I'm sinking down into the ground to be able to get a read. With somebody like him who can really run, I know that I have to really attack the ball in order to cut down distance, because if I can cut down distance, we can cut down time. And if we cut down time, it gives us a better chance to turn a double play. So as you can see, I attack this ball, catch it with both hands with my momentum going towards where I want to throw, which is second base, and then give a strong uphill feed to Mastro, which we can see on the broadcast view here. So I attack the ball, catch it out front like we've talked about in our drill work. And then the biggest thing for me is, can I get it to Mastro that's going to allow him to pivot faster? He's going to allow him to transfer it to his throwing hand faster. So usually in flips, what we say is the second baseman typically kind of comes through the bag, so you can see how he meets my throw and my feed here. Mm-hmm. So I try and aim to put it right in the middle of his chest, if not more on the right side of his body, because if it's on the right side of his body, then he can get it
dropping
throwing
into
hand faster into the pocket in which he's trying to throw. So by giving him a feed hard and uphill, it sticks in the glove better. You don't want to loop a ball, and it allows him to be able to turn this double play, similar to what we saw in the last video of being able to get it out quick, because even though that ball's hit hard and we turn it really quick, I mean, we beat him by a half a step.
Right.
So the next thing when it comes to feeds too, that I think is like a fundamental thing that I've been taught since I was a little kid, is follow your throw, right? Follow your shot in basketball, follow your throw no matter where you're throwing it. And so as you can see, when I flip this, I'm still running towards him because I want to get all my force and mass into that throw. So as you can see, I mean, that's what? 1, 2, that's like 3.5, 4 steps that I'm taking towards the bag even after I've released it.
Is it just
questions?
A judgment call in terms of whether you're underhand flipping it versus like a dart throw versus it's just
Probably
be an athlete?
Forehand, backhand.
Typically, if I have my momentum going towards the base, I'm going to underhand flip it.
Okay.
If I feel like I'm going away from the bag or have to come kind of directly at it to where I can't get my momentum, I'm going to throw like a little kind of low three-quarter dart. But in this instance, because I'm able to kind of get that left, right, left footwork towards the base, you can see how I'm leaning, that I'm able to get all my momentum behind this feed to him, which, like I said, he does a great job of being able to turn this. He's got a really good arm, so we're able to turn it, pretty easily. But I do think that it's important to talk not only about the fundamentals of the play itself here, but the fact that the situation can kind of dictate what the thought process may be in terms of us trying to steal outs, and then luckily this time we were able to steal 2. Obviously came up with this idea. We would love to know from the comments if this is something y'all want to learn more about. I love teaching the game, love coaching the game. So if there's more clips that you want to see, if there's certain situations that you want to see defensively, base running, just kind of all the intricate parts of learning the game at a high level. You can do these things, obviously, no matter what level you're playing at, whether you're in, travel ball, you're in all-stars, you're in high school, JV, college, the pros. I mean, literally, like, this stuff is, I think, really, really important to learn how to play the game at a high level. So I'm willing to break down any bit of everything. We're only going to do stuff for myself. So if it's good or bad, I don't feel bad about talking bad about myself or saying good things. So if there's more that y'all want to see, more that y'all want to hear, certain situations, just leave comments down below, and we'll be doing this more often if this is something you guys want to hear from.